Welcome to World News on Psalm TV. Psalm TV is your trusted source for comprehensive news coverage. Stay updated by following us on Facebook at Psalm TV and watch every moment live on YouTube at Psalm TV Live. First, the top stories making headlines. US and Russia held talks in Abu Dhabi aimed to secure Ukraine peace deal amid airstrikes on Kyiv. Romania and German jets scramble after drone breach deep into Romanian airspace. Japan's Prime Minister Takaichi confirms strong ties with Trump following Taiwan dispute. Now the news in full. Meanwhile, U.S. Army Secretary Dan Driscoll held 2 days of talks with Russian officials in Abu Dhabi, attempting to secure a Ukraine peace deal under the Trump administration. Despite diplomacy, Russian missiles and drones struck Kyiv, killing 6. Ukraine remains cautious, with President Zelensky planning direct discussions with Trump. France warned against any settlement resembling capitulation, while Romania scrambled jets after a drone incursion, raising regional tensions. In related security concerns, Romania and German NATO fighter jets were scrambled after a drone penetrated deeper than ever in Romania airspace, which Bucharest labeled a Russian provocation. Defense Minister Ioannis Mosteanu said pilots tracked the drone over 100 kilometers inland but refrained from firing to avoid civilian casualties. Debris was later found. The incident highlights heightened tensions since Russia's invasion of Ukraine and repeated airspace breaches. Turning to Asia, Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi revealed that U.S. President Donald Trump assured her of strong personal ties and open communication during their first call since a diplomatic clash with China over Taiwan. Takaichi's comments on potential Japanese military intervention led Beijing to impose a travel boycott. Trump briefed her on discussions with Xi Jinping as Tokyo works to de-escalate tensions and maintain regional stability. Similarly, Taiwan Premier Cho Chun-te rejected any return to China, reaffirming full sovereignty and independence for its 23 million citizens. Cho criticized Beijing's military and diplomatic pressure, including recent balloon flights over the Taiwan Strait, and dismissed the one country, two systems model. He emphasized that only the people of Taiwan can decide its future following discussions between Chinese President Xi Jinping and US President Trump regarding sovereignty claims. Meanwhile, in Africa, the United States presented a firm peace proposal to Sudan's army and rapid support forces, though neither formally accepted it. U.S. advisor Mazak Bolos said the army demanded preconditions, while the RSF declared a unilateral ceasefire with unclear status. The conflict, worsening since April 2023, has caused famine, ethnic killings, and a risk of splitting the country, highlighting the fragile nature of Sudan's security and governance. Elsewhere, Afghanistan's Taliban reported that Pakistani airstrikes killed 9 children and a woman, prompting vows of retaliation. The overnight bombardment followed attacks in Pakistan attributed to militants allegedly based in Afghanistan. Taliban officials condemned the strikes as violations of Afghan sovereignty, while Islamabad criticized Kabul for inaction. Rising border clashes and failed peace negotiations have left the region tense, raising fears of further escalation between the two countries. In judicial news, prosecutors at the International Criminal Court at The Hague accused Mahamat Said Abdelkani, a former Seleka militia commander, of overseeing a prison where detainees, mostly Christian, were arbitrarily held and tortured more than a decade ago. said Said denies 7 charges of war crimes and crimes against humanity, with his defense scheduled to close later this week, highlighting ongoing accountability efforts for Central African Republic conflict atrocities. Meanwhile, Israeli strikes in Lebanon have killed at least 127 civilians since the ceasefire nearly a year ago. The UN Human Rights Office said UN spokesperson Tamim Al-Kitan called for a full investigation and renewed respect for the truce, noting that the verified number likely underestimates the true toll. Attacks on civilian areas continue to rise, raising concerns about a potential escalation despite ongoing ceasefire agreements. In diplomatic development, Pope Leo will make his first trip outside Italy as head of the Catholic Church, visiting Turkey and Lebanon from November 27th to December 2nd. He will promote Christian unity, meet Orthodox leaders, and pray at Beirut's port explosion site. The visit emphasizes regional humanitarian and security challenges, aiming to call for peace, lead interfaith dialogue, and draw global attention to fragile conditions in both countries. Meanwhile, a UN report revealed that Palestinian economy contracted by 30% in 2024, compared with 2022, marking its worst collapse on record. Gaza's per capita GDP fell to $161, among the lowest globally. The downturn is attributed to the 2-year Israel-Hamas conflict, West Bank restrictions, and increasing settler violence. The territory now relies heavily on long-term international aid to sustain basic services and rebuild livelihoods. Turning to positive news, Finland has retained its position as the world's happiest country for the 8th consecutive year, according to the World Happiness Report. Despite high unemployment, stagnant growth, and welfare cuts, resilience, social cohesion, and equality sustain well-being. Citizens like Juho-Pekka Paloma creatively manage long unemployment spells, illustrating that happiness is shaped not only by GDP, but by collaboration, community support, and social bonds. Meanwhile, China successfully completed an emergency mission to its Tiangong space station after the Shenzhou 20 vessel was damaged in orbit. The unmanned Shenzhou 22 delivered medical supplies, spare parts, and fresh food to astronauts. The 16-day rapid response addressed a critical safety gap, ensured operational continuity, and showcased China's growing capabilities in manned space flight and emergency space operations, reflecting the country's advancing technological and logistical prowess in outer space. In European diplomacy, German Foreign Minister Johann Wadephul announced plans to visit China before the end of 2025, after his October trip was postponed. Chancellor Friedrich Merz is scheduled to visit in early 2026. These trips aim to strengthen bilateral relations and manage tensions with Beijing, highlighting Germany's strategic engagement with China amidst global economic challenges and growing geopolitical uncertainties. Meanwhile, Indian carriers Air India and Akasa Air cancelled several flights due to harsh plumes from Ethiopia's Haile Gumbi volcano. Air India suspended 11 flights, while Akasa halted trips to Middle Eastern destinations, including Jeddah, Kuwait, and Abu Dhabi. The ash cloud, which reached northern India and parts of Pakistan, is expected to clear by Tuesday afternoon, prompting precautionary aircraft checks and temporary disruptions in air travel across the region. In economic news, India's Tata Motors launched its new mid-sized Ceria SUV to challenge rivals Hyundai and Maruti Suzuki. The vehicle features Tata's latest gasoline engine and modern architecture, signaling the company's growth ambitions. CEO Shailesh Chandra described the launch as a statement of intent with an electric version planned for fiscal 2026. The Syria aims to expand Tata's market share amid intensifying competition in India's automotive sector. Meanwhile, Brazil's central bank is taking a cautious, data-driven approach to inflation. Governor Gabriel Galipolo noted that while inflation nears the 3% target, interest rates remain at a near 20-year high of 15%. The bank defended its recent closure of Banco Master, citing liquidity issues and financial violations, demonstrating a commitment to oversight and economic stability, while carefully navigating domestic challenges in monetary policy and financial regulation. In corporate news, Canadian mining company Barrick Mining agreed to pay $430 million to settle a long-running dispute with Mali over the Loulo-Gounkoto gold mines. Barrick will drop its World Bank legal case, while Mali will release jailed employees, return mine control, and drop charges. Some payments were already made last year, with the remainder due soon. The agreement resolves a prolonged legal and diplomatic dispute over mining operations. Meanwhile, Britain's financial regulator, the FCA, is reviewing accounting errors at WH Smith's US operations following CEO Carl Cowling's resignation. An independent review found North American profits were overstated by £30 million due to early recognition of supplier income. The FCA is engaging with the firm but has not launched a formal investigation. WH Smith reduced its profit forecast for the division from £55 million into £25 million. Stay tuned for advertorials from our sponsors. We will be back shortly. Don't go anywhere.
As a young teenage girl, campus lady, or young adult, do you have questions in your mind that are unanswered? Or do you feel like meeting or talking to someone that will be able to answer them? I have a good news for you. The Deeper Life Bible Church Women Ministry Jalingo has decided to bring up a special program for the girl child. The theme is The Polish Daughters. This program will be coming up on the 29th of November 2025. Time is 10 a.m. Venue, Deeper Life Bible Church, Mile 6 Bypass, Jalingo, Taraba State, featuring talk, symposium, interactive sessions like question and answers, character stories, variety, etc. Come expecting, go rejoicing.
Thank you for staying with us. We now go to reports from Southeast Asia as Malaysian court postponed its ruling on whether former Prime Minister Najib Razak can serve his 6-year prison sentence under house arrest to December 22nd. Najib, 72, is serving time for graft and money laundering linked to the 1MDB scandal. The decision comes days after the High Court's largest 1MDB trial verdict on December 26. Najib claims a royal addendum allows home detention. Meanwhile, Irish writer Graham Linehan, co-creator of Father Ted, was cleared of online harassment of a transgender woman but found guilty of damaging her phone. The incident involved a 70-year-old at a conference last October. Linehan was fined £500 and ordered to pay court costs. The judge ruled his online posts were offensive but not harassment, confirming that the phone was intentionally thrown to the floor. In France, over a quarter of next year's 90 billion euros education budget is earmarked for teachers' pensions, leaving classrooms underfunded. Swelling class sizes, aging school buildings, and teacher shortages persist. French students lag in international tests, while parents voice frustration. Pension reforms have sparked political tensions, and experts warn that the strain on public finances may fuel broader dissatisfaction with the government and the education system.